The best Chelseas on the market. This is Nick at Stridewise.com in New York City. I'm in New Jersey today. Normally I'm in New York City to tell you the best Chelsea boots you can buy. After many boot reviews and even making a pair of boots myself once, I can confidently say I'm pretty good at judging a great pair of boots. And today we are looking at the enigmatic Chelsea boot. I'm naming the best overall, best value, best luxury Chelseas, best for work, and a few more categories as well. There's an article in the description below if you want to read more. I have a couple extra picks in there, and there's also links to buy any of these in the description below if you're interested in learning more about them. Now the Chelsea, it's interesting because it doesn't have the same history of workwear and rugged frontiersmen as like service boots and mock toe boots. Believe it or not, the first Chelsea was actually designed as a walking boot for Queen Victoria, and it then caught on as a horse riding boot, later gaining a lot of steam as a preferred boot of the Beatles. It used to be called the Beetle boot. None of this is really evoking the history of lumberjacks and warehouse workers the way that some other boots do. But eventually the broader population realized how great it is to have footwear that's both tough and easy to slip on, and it gained traction as a work boot, especially in my motherland of Australia. Blah, blah, blah. Let's just get to the list. So my favorite Chelsea after all this time is Koyo's Trento boots. I'm just like a massive fan of this. I think the last and the design is really great and really nice and versatile. The boot's made in Italy, the leather's from Italy, even the shoebox is from Italy. And the cool thing about them actually is that all of the tanneries that they work with, they're certified by the Leather Working Group. So you get the nice supple flexibility and softness and colors of chrome tanned leather, but without any of the negative things often associated with it. All that stuff aside, which I guess a lot of people don't care about, I just think this is like a really beautiful boot. But this is also a really fantastic dress Chelsea. If you pick this up in like the black leather, like the black smooth leather, it's absolutely like the best dress Chelsea in my opinion. Most boots out there in the higher end, they are Goodyear welted, or at least when they're more associated with like durability and like rugged wear. This is Blake stitched, but that doesn't mean that it's really a low quality boot. A Blake stitched boot, this one here, it can still be resoled. What it means is that it is a little bit less water resistant than Goodyear weld, but it's very tightly stitched, so I haven't really had issues with water seeping in. In addition to that, Blake stitched boots are lighter and more flexible than Goodyear welted boots. So this is unbelievably comfortable. The combination of the Blake stitch and a leather outsole means that it's really nice, soft on the foot, conforms well to the foot over time. And I just think the last and designs sleek, it's beautiful, pairs with anything, and I'm crazy about it, especially got the Koyo Trento boot. Another Chelsea I think absolutely everybody should know about is Idris. This one here is the shad bolt, and I designed it myself because anyone can design a Chelsea at Idris's website. They liked mine a lot, so they put this on their list of offerings on their website. But what's really cool is you can design your own Chelsea there, right? So if you've like been looking around at the Chelseas in this video and you're thinking, but I'd really like one with like a smooth leather on the back panel, or I've always wanted to put like some flannel on a boot, or I want to have a mix of different colors, or if there's like a certain color you have in mind, you can come up with it on their website. So like it's like the best customizable Chelsea. I also just in general really like the last and the design as well. It's a comfortable shoe. You can have like a flat leather sole if that scratches are itch, or you can go with like a Ridgeway sole like I got, which is flat from the side, but actually very grippy and very functional. I just think Idris is a really cool company, and if you're feeling a bit creative, definitely go there and just try and come up with like whatever kind of Chelsea boot you can. Or if you just want to go to Idris and get a quality Chelsea that's designed by someone who knows a whole ton about boots, I think you can just get the shad bolt, because this is one that I came up with. It's rough out leather, it's got a storm welt for extra water resistance, and it's nice and elegant. I'm a big fan of it. So definitely check out Idris on the website. Very cool. Now, the best value Chelsea, probably the most versatile Chelsea as well, is Thursday Boot Company's Cavalier, in my opinion. What's interesting is that they have a few different Chelsea models, and they market the Duke as like their best everyday option and the Cavalier as their dressier one. But personally, I prefer the Cavalier, you know? I think it's more comfortable, I like the fit better, it doesn't have pull tabs, which I actually don't love because they always stick at the bottom of your jeans. And it just has like some really nice leathers, and it goes just as well dressing up as dressing down, which I can't say the same of that in regards to their other Chelsea models. So I'm a really big fan of the Cavalier here. Now, I'm a guy who likes to try out his boots before recommending them, and I actually have a pair here that I wore all over Europe for like 3 months. These went to France and England and Spain, and when I got them back, I waxed them because I wanted to try out to see what it would be like to wax some suede, right? So I'm not using those because like your boots won't look like this at all. They're gonna look more like this one. But this is like a really nice snuff suede here, which is like a suede that has not been treated to be extra water and stain resistant if you want a more traditional suede. But Thursday also offers what they call weather safe suede, which is this really cool kind of invention. It's imbued with oils and waxes in the tanning process that make it water and stain resistant, just like regular leather. So that's a really good option if you want a suede that you don't have to think about. And the Cavalier is also available in like smooth leathers as well, and dressier ones if you want something you can dress up. It's just a super versatile boot. The value is phenomenal, $199. Anyone else selling this boot, it would be easily $100 more expensive. Value and versatility is really like the name of the game when it comes to Thursday Boot Company, and I really think they knocked it out of the park with their Cavalier Chelsea. All right, but let's go completely in the other direction. What if you want a waterproof Chelsea you can really get dirty in? The best waterproof Chelsea is Ariat's Wexford boot. This is the very, very rare example of a boot that's waterproof yet looks stylish as well. To be clear, the average guy does not need a waterproof boot. If he's just encountering like rain and snow, a Goodyear welted boot or something similar like a stitch down or even that tightly stitched Blake stitch, that's gonna be more than enough. But if you're gonna be ankle deep in muck for a good portion of the day, the Wexford is a real feat of engineering. It looks great, it's lightweight, and it has an impermeable waterproof barrier. And because it's not welted, it's pretty cheap. It's just 200 bucks. The last of the top 5 in this video is the best luxury Chelsea. So if money and time are absolutely no object and you want the best imaginable Chelsea boot you can buy, this, to be clear, this is an impractical option for almost everyone. But there is no way to do a genuine video about the world's best Chelseas without mentioning Benzene. This is such a small company of 7 guys in Bandung, Indonesia. If you're new to the world of super high quality footwear, that probably won't make any sense to you. But to guys who kind of play in this space as much as I do, they know that Benzene and Chelseas have become synonymous, and many qualified people call their 7th boot the best Chelsea in the world. I did a whole unboxing video with these if you want to learn more about why. These boots cost about $500 US. They will take at least 3, probably at least 6 months to be made. You can only order over their WhatsApp, but everybody who buys them says they're worth all of that time, money, and weird ordering. To the average person, they're not worth it, but for guys like really into materials, like the leather quality, this is waxed Mariam horse butt from Italy. It's a single piece of leather too. Like everything else in this list so far uses multiple pieces of leather. This is one big piece of leather wrapped around, which makes it conform to the foot really well and like eliminates the risk of stitches like irritating you as well. Also, the craftsmanship and skill is the best. Like these are hand welted and hand lasted. It's incredibly laborious, very high skill, time intensive. I can't spend too much on this entry, but it's sort of like how any watch can tell the time, but some guys pay more for watches that are harder to make with rarer components, and they embody years of skill building and handcrafting and history, that sort of thing. That's kind of the difference between cheaper boots and Benzene. Most people don't care, but some people want to wear a work of art, and that's Benzene. And if they were made in America, they'd probably be a good $1,000. The runner-up for best value Chelsea, in my opinion, is Astaflex's Bitflex boot. I don't have it here, I actually left it in storage by accident, but here's a video I made about it. I have worn these boots very hard. They're a good option for guys who don't like the narrow toe box that Chelseas usually come with. The Bitflex has a lot of room, which makes it look more casual, yes, but it's a really great boot, really, really comfortable. They're made in Italy in a small family-owned workshop outside of Milan. They're resolable, the suede is great quality, and they're 215 bucks, which is really, really crazy value. They're sold at really discerning places though, like Le Faux in New York City, where all the other boots are more than twice the price. Another cool thing is that the crepe sole that Astaflex uses on most of their models is really, really comfortable. Crepe is soft and flexible. It's not the most durable, but these boots will last a long time, especially because they are resolable. You can get them at huckberry.com. The runner-up for the best dress Chelsea, if you want to spend a bit more money, is Carmina. This is the same, like this company's had the same family running the same shoe business on the Spanish island of Mallorca for over 100 years. It's a very, very old company. I actually recently visited their factory. It's gorgeous. I've got like videos about it. You can check it out if you want to learn more. But with 3 layers of leather in the sole, it's extremely comfortable and flexible, even though they're Goodyear welted for resolability. These are made with like the finest, smoothest box calf leather money can buy. If you want to wear Chelseas with a suit, but you don't want Chelseas that can go with jeans as well, if you really, really want to make absolutely sure you've got the dressiest, sleekest, most delicately lasted Chelsea boot around, this here is the creme de la creme of luxury Chelseas. The runner-up for the best luxury Chelsea It's actually more expensive than benzene at $590 because they're made in Australia. They're not as good as benzene and they're more expensive, but nonetheless, we do need to talk about the R.M. Williams Comfort Craftsman. Every single male in the nation of Australia owns a pair of these. They make the Australian Army's official parade boots, and Australians love doing everything from farm work to board meetings in Comfort Craftsman. They're just everywhere in Australia. Chelsea's really a part of Australia's DNA. In the United States, Hugh Jackman helped to bring them to prominence when he bought part of the company a few years back and appeared naked in their advertisements. The Comfort Craftsman stands out because it is also whole cut like benzene's, and the leather is yearling leather. So the cow is 1 year old when he becomes boots for his birthday. And because it's 1 year old, it's like part calf and part cowhide. So the leather is soft and with a tight grain like calf skin, but it's really hard wearing like cowhide. So super comfortable, super durable boots that you can take just about anywhere. All right, let's do a couple more categories before signing off. Get this up to 10. The best Chelsea boots for work, Blundstones. Now, these boots are world famous and they're also pretty inexpensive because they're not resolable, so you see them everywhere in the cities. You've probably seen the 500 or the 585, but the Blundstone has a more work-appropriate one, and that one levels up by being heat resistant, electrical hazard resistant, oil and acid resistant, slip resistant, and it has a steel toe, which is a must for a lot of jobs. Like I said, it's not resolable, but the average like work boot, as in not like a heritage classically made work boot, but a modern work boot, they usually aren't resolable anyway. Plus that keeps the price lower than most welted boots, so that's a really, really good option. Lastly is the best Chelsea for under $100. This is not the same as the best value Chelsea, because the best value ones, in my opinion, are resolable. But if you have a really hard ceiling on $100, you can check out the very famous Sonoma boot from New Republic. It's about $85 or $90. I don't own it because I'm not buying a cemented sole casual boot, but they do have an undeniable reputation for comfort for a couple of reasons. The first is the crepe sole, which, as I mentioned earlier, super soft and flexible. The second is the construction is not resolable, which makes for a lighter and more flexible shoe. It's true, there are some upsides to having a non-resolable boot, right? The downside, they can't be resoled and the crepe rubber wears out fairly quickly, like relative to other soles. But if it's a weekend boot, it'll still last a pretty long time, very comfortable with that crepe sole, and they're really cheap. Like they basically cost as much as a pair of sneakers, and they will last longer than a pair of Chuck Taylor sneakers. That about wraps it up. No, actually, I'll do one more. All right, one more. If you want the most balanced Chelsea, like I just go to this one. One that's like elegant and beautiful and with good quality leather and lasting and stuff, dresses up easily, but it's also pretty rugged, extra water resistant, resolable, grippy lug sole. The Elmwood boot from Parkhurst is worth checking out. Taylor Stitch's Ranch boot is another really good example of that like quality, rugged, but smart Chelsea. Koyo also has the Firmo, which is in this category too. But Parkhurst is one of these brands. It's a little bit like benzene in that in the the boot hobbyist world, which most people don't belong to, but whose opinions you're probably a little bit curious about. Parkhurst, this company, sounds dumb with my accent, Parkhurst is what I should be saying. They're highly regarded for the materials and their craftsmanship. It's under $400 and it has all the bells and whistles that impress like the boot nerds on Reddit. And most importantly, they just look great. They'll pair with just about any outfit. This is really good quality leather. It'll age wonderfully. And they've got a storm welt and a grippy outsole to elevate it above the dressier Chelseas that clutter the market. Okay. Now I'm finished. All right, that's the best Chelseas. The article and links for all of these are in the description below. I've been making boot videos for over 4 years, and that's my first best Chelseas list, the most thoroughly researched list you're ever gonna find here. Some bonus entries are in the article below, by the way, if you wanna see that. Let me know your thoughts below, and if you can't decide on any of those I just mentioned, just go to Idris and make one yourself. It's just a really cool system. Subscribe if you just went up here. Let's end the video. That's it. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.